Hello and welcome to episode 128 of Comics with Stevey D. And this is a jam-packed show. And the way I'm going to start today is showing a short video clip of Charles Lindbergh taking off on the first transatlantic flight. And I'm showing this video. It's stock footage of a historical event for educational purposes only. And there it is, the Spirit of St. Louis and Charles Lindbergh. And why am I showing that? It's because my first comic book is a treasure chest that has Charles Lindbergh on the cover. And also, I think his name was Gordon Cooper. And two historical aviators, astronauts and aviators. This is Treasure Chest Volume 19, Number 4 from 1963. And that's when Cooper made the most orbits around the Earth in the early NASA astronaut program. And then there's the Spirit of St. Louis. So that's why I showed that video, for educational purposes only. All right, now here is the Enterprise. Okay, this is cracked. And it's the Star Trek Technical Untechnical Manual. We set our humor on stun. And what's funny about this cover is the little Enterprise ran into the big Enterprise. And Captain Picard and him are fighting over whose fault it was. So that is a neat cover. And it's a black and white interior. And they have pictures of early 1950 motion pictures with a science fiction space theme. And this one here is particularly funny. This is a robot we probably all recognize. I think it was in From the Day the Earth Stood Still. Well, he's saying, and this is where the ice cubes come out. So there's a humorous notation under each of these pictures. And I'm just going to do a quick sweep past. That way you'll probably recognize some of these motion pictures from your childhood. Most of my viewers are in their 50s and 60s, according to the demographics. So a lot of you don't know that. And in the center, they have a diagram of the Enterprise Space Shuttle if it were occupied by couples. And as you can see, that's a pretty good diagram. And what's of particular humor in this one is right here is the sanitation pod. And there's stockings floating all around the thing. And the astronaut says to the wife astronaut, her pantyhose are always hanging around everywhere inside the sanitation pod. And that's interesting. Now, the next one that I'm going to show you are some books, novels written by Dean Koontz. And these were Odd Thomas books from a series, 4 of the 5. I couldn't find the first one that I read and really enjoyed. Dean Koontz is a very prolific author. Hundreds, I would say he wrote 100 books at least, I'm guessing. But it's probably very close to. And then there's the last in that series, and here's another book by him. And you're asking me, why am I showing you novels? It's not my usual thing. Well, because Dean Koontz wrote a comic book for Dynamite Comics, and this is the first issue of Nevermore. And Nevermore is an interdimensional travel story, science fiction story. I read one and I liked it, so now I got to hunt down the rest of them, which is usual in our hobby. And while I'm showing stuff, I want to show you the neatest, funniest Marvel team up I could find. It's Howard the Duck and Spider-Man. And it's issue 1996. And it's from 1980. And Howard the Duck is a cab driver from Cleveland, Ohio. But he got a fare that wanted to go to New York City. Excuse me, Madison Avenue. And so he picks up this guy here who turns out to be the villain. Status quo. He wants things not to change. He wants everything to stay the same. And him and Spider-Man have to take care of him. It's a silly issue, but there's a really cool picture of Howard the Duck with that expression. And he's crabbing all the time. That's his character. Now, I have an excellent reference book I want to show you. Iron Man, Official Index to the Marvel Universe. And it's very much like the Overstreet Price Guide, except it's exclusively Iron Man from Tales of Suspense until about 2010. And every issue is shown with a synopsis of the stories and the related books and characters, villains, and to the story. So I got this. Cover price was $19.99. I got it from my comic shop, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding, for $8 in near mint condition. And when I opened it out of the plastic wrapper, just look at that. It's just brand new. All right. The last thing I have, before I get to it, I want to give a shout out to Bjorn, formerly of Son of Crom, who is now Spider Slabs. Got a frog in my throat today. And he has been doing readings from early Tales of Suspense. There's his icon. Tales of Suspense stories, and he uses various voices. And there's a story there in between his regular episodes. And it starts out with the door creaking, and then he gets out the book by candlelight and he reads the story impromptu, and he does a different voice for all the characters. Really entertaining. And the last thing, but not least, is another subscriber giveaway from my friend Matt of Matt Likes Comics. I blocked out our addresses and stuff. And it was third place, and he is doing really well with picking up subscribers quickly. But he's putting out a lot of videos, and he's an authority on Superman, DC, Super Books, Legion of Superheroes. Those kind of books are his favorites, and others. And he's getting into Marvel a little bit lately. Got it open. That's always the hardest part. And so I came in third place, and I was super happy about that, because the third place prize were Superman comics. The Man of Steel. And here we go. Adding to my very small Superman collection, because I'm a Marvel guy, is there's the first issue. And there's the second cover. I'm going to read these. That's the first thing on my reading list. And there's the third cover. Pretty complex cover. And there's issue number 4. I think that might be Lex Luthor, but I'm not sure until I read it. Lois is on these covers. Superman's taking one on the chin, it looks like there, from a white Superman. I used to know his name, but I forgot what it is. And we'll just call him the albino Superman until I figure out who it is. And the last issue of the series. Now, Matt also sent me a stack of other comic books. I have no idea what they are. Ooh, here's a graphic novel. Star Wars, Darth Vader. And I like Darth Vader. I don't have a lot of Star Wars books. I have a couple Mandalorian books and a couple of Star Wars, so I'm happy to add this to my collection. And Pack, Gorham, Iniko, and Believe were the creators. And here's an Archie, all new. It's a modern Archie, it looks like. Hellcat, number 8, Civil War. And it's in the cartoony style. So, I wonder if it's a Scotty Young cover. Until I investigate further, I'm just guessing at that. And finally, a Captain America book that I am sure I don't have, because it's a variant. And it's the second variant. And it looks like Bucky Barnes has been turned into a scroll. There's his arm there. Looks like a scroll. It says scrolls down here. So that is a very interesting cover. And I just want to express my gratitude to Matt for all these great Superman books. And backs of them. And a selection from his personal collection that he thought I would like. And also, I am a guest on his show, his live stream this coming week. And so if you can catch it, please do. And we'll discuss comic books and do trivia and all sorts of things. So, with that, the jam-packed episode of Comics with Stevey D, 128. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and enjoy your comic book pursuits. Take care.